The Richest Man in Babylon by George Clason. The Richest Man in Babylon is a timeless personal finance classic that uses parables set in the ancient Babylon to teach enduring principles of wealth creation, financial discipline, and personal success. George Clason's book draws on fictional characters and tales to present financial advice in a memorable and easily digestible format. Through these ancient stories, Clayson communicates fundamental truths about money that remain remarkably relevant even today. At the heart of the book is the idea that building wealth is not about luck or inheritance, but about cultivating the right habits, exercising discipline, and applying simple principles consistently over time. The book centers around the main character, Akkad, who is regarded as the richest man in Babylon. His story becomes the framework for the financial wisdom that Clayson wishes to convey. Akkad wasn't born into wealth. He began life as a poor scribe with no clear path to riches. But his deep desire to become wealthy led him to seek knowledge and guidance, and eventually he became a disciplined and strategic accumulator of wealth. His financial journey provides the blueprint for others, and throughout the book, Arkad shares his life lessons with his friends, apprentices, and fellow citizens who seek the same prosperity he has achieved. One of the most powerful and recurring themes in the book is the idea of paying yourself first. Akkad teaches that a person should always set aside at least one tenth of all earnings before spending on anything else. This concept, referred to as start thy purse to fattening, forms the bedrock of Clayson's philosophy. Saving a portion of one's income consistently, regardless of how much one earns, is the first and the most essential step towards building wealth. It may seem simple, but Clayson emphasizes that most people fail to do this and instead spend all they earn or even more. The parable highlights that no wealth is possible without saving, and even the most modern income can grow into a fortune over time with consistency. Closely tied to the idea of saving is the lesson that one must live below their means. In the second principle, control thy expenditures, Akash teaches that many confuse necessary expenses with desires. He wants that luxury, once tasted, easily becomes a necessity. Therefore, budgeting is not only about reducing spending, but consciously deciding what truly matters. The secret to living within one's means lies in understanding that a growing income should not justify growing expenses. The more one earns, the more one should save, not spend. After saving and controlling expenses, Arkad introduces the concept of putting money to work, captured in the phrase, make thy gold multiply. Simply hoarding money is not sufficient. One must invest it wisely so it grows. Money, when properly invested, can earn returns, and those returns can be reinvested to generate more returns, a concept now widely known as compound interest. This principle is emphasized through examples where characters lend their money to others for profitable ventures or invest in promising opportunities, reaping dividends over time. Clayson's point is clear. Saving must be transformed into active capital through intelligent investment. However, with investment comes risk, and Clayson cautions readers through principle guard thy treasures from loss. Not all investments are sound, and blind trust or greed can lead to financial ruins. Arcot shares a story of losing money by trusting an inexperienced tradesman with his savings. He emphasizes that one must always seek advice from those knowledgeable in the specific area of investment. Advice of men experienced in the ways of that trade. The lesson is that money should be invested only through proper understanding and through trusted channels. Risk is a part of wealth building, but unnecessary or uneducated risks are often the downfall of the inexperienced. Another key principle is the importance of owning property, a concept summarized by the phrase, make of thy dwelling a profitable investment. Agar promotes the idea of home ownership as a path to security and pride. In a society where rent takes a large share of income, owning a home brings stability and reduces long term expenses. Furthermore, it enables individuals to invest more confidently in other ventures, knowing that their basic needs are met. The home, as Clayson illustrates, can serve as the foundation upon which other forms of wealth are built. Clayson also dictates significant attention to the importance of future planning and protection. The principle, ensure a future income, reflects the need for a long term thinking. Through parables, he encourages readers to save for retirement, protect dependents through insurance, and make provisions for unforeseen circumstances. Wealth should not only serve the present but also provide security for the future. Akkad teaches that those who fail to plan for old age often become burdens to others, while those who prepare can live with dignity and peace of mind. Education and the continuous pursuit of wisdom also form a very integral part of Grayson's message. The principle, increase thy ability to earn, emphasizes that income grows when skill and knowledge grow. Akash advises his students to constantly seek self improvement, to study, to work diligently, and to look for ways to provide greater value to others. In Clayson's view, wealth is not static, it reflects a person's ability to generate value over time. The more one contributes to society through work, knowledge, or service, the more income and opportunity will naturally follow. Interwoven throughout the book are cautionary tales of financial folly and missed opportunities. One story tells of a man who repeatedly ignored wise advice and lost his gold to poor judgment. Another story illustrates how fear and hesitation prevents people from seizing profitable opportunities. Clayson reminds us that wealth is not only about knowledge, but about courage, timing, and execution. Action combined with preparation leads to reward. The stories are as much about what not to do as they are about what to do, making them compellingly moral and financial lessons wrapped in engaging narrative. In a later chapter, Clayson shares the powerful story of a character named Rodan, a spear maker who comes into the large sum of money and seeks advice on what to do with it. Through this exchange, Clayson conveys the idea that wealth gained suddenly can be just as quickly lost if one lacks financial wisdom. This reinforces the book's central claim. Sustainable wealth is not the result of chance or inheritance, but of steady, principled, and thoughtful action. In the final part of the book, Clayson offers a blueprint for debt repayment through the debt slave story. A man overwhelmed by debts learns to allocate a percentage of his income to repaying creditors while still saving a portion for himself. This methodical and disciplined approach to debt management helps him restore his honor and financial freedom. The lesson here is that even those deep in depth can reclaim control by applying the same principles of saving, budgeting, and persistence. One of the reasons The Richest Man of Babylon has remained popular is because of the storytelling approach Clayson employs. Rather than dryly listening financial tips, he brings concepts to life through parables set in ancient Babylon, a place he describes as the cradle of financial wisdom and prosperity. These tales are timeless because human behavior around money has remained fundamentally the same. People still overspend, fall into debts, ignore advice, and hope for shortcuts to wealth. But Clayson's parables, though simple, reveal that true path to wealth lies not in the complexity or speed, but in discipline and clarity of purpose. Ultimately, The Richest Man in Babylon is more than a book about finance. It is a guide to personal mastery and self reliance. It encourages readers to take ownership of their financial future, to be proactive, to save first, to invest wisely, to seek knowledge, and to stay the course even when the journey is difficult. Its enduring message is that anyone, regardless of income or background, can achieve financial independence by following a few simple principles with consistency and integrity. The book closes with a sense that wealth is not just about money. It is about freedom, security, confidence, and the ability to live a full and meaningful life. Clayson's parables may be ancient in style, but their wisdom is timeless. In a world where consumerism, instant gratification are widespread, The Richest Man in Babylon remains a powerful and relevant call to live wisely, think long term, and build wealth from the inside out.